Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. And not a lot has changed. I've kind of let the city just breathe and grow again after the last disaster that hit us. I have gone into the settings and I have knocked them down a notch because I felt that I was just getting hit with disaster after disaster after disaster, and part of the reason is because obviously I tend to let the city run in the background for a little bit between episodes, and it just seemed to be that every time I get to start an episode, a disaster would hit. So I wanted to just ease that off just a little bit. So I've knocked it down a notch. So our disaster settings are currently at that frequency now. They were that, now they're that. Hopefully that'll eliminate some of that a little bit. And I've done a little bit of tidying up and a little bit of housekeeping on our city as well. So to start with, I've started zoning in some new areas over here in terms of districts. So you can see we have some new names over here. And I've also been catching up on some of the subscriber requests because we didn't do any last time out. I completely forgot, so apologies for that. And those have been added in this time. So I'll go through what I've added in. First off, a request that came in quite a while ago actually from GP was to have Egberth Road. It's quite a main road in the Liverpool area here in the UK, and so we now have Egberth Road here as one of these main roads. Obviously that road's going to get bigger as we develop further down here. That's the first one. James Lloyd requested Lloyd Lane, so I then sort of made this section here Lloyd Lane as well. So we've got a separate road here coming off the roundabout. And Corey McSweeney, long-time subscriber, requested a district area. So we've built this little extension here. As you can see, I've dropped in a few extra little support roads here for some more zoning. And we've got a little square here for McSweeney Square just here. And I've got a little bridge that goes underneath here because it's just a little bit too low to get a road underneath. And I didn't want to have to mess around re-heighting the road. So I've got a little bridge in there, although I suppose we could. Actually, what I could do is I could use some terraforming and lower the terrain height a little bit so I could get a road underneath that. We did that over here. We just dipped the terrain down a little bit to get the road under, so I might do that. We might go back and tweak that a little bit. But yeah, McSweeney Square just there. So those are the three that I forgot to put in last time, and then I've also gone ahead and added an extra couple as well. So another long time request was from Rob James Stevens, and I've given him a roundabout. He just wanted his name in, he didn't give a specific request. So we have RJS Island just here for Rob James Stevens. Next one was Howarth. Oscar Howarth wanted his own district, so we've got Howarth Heights just here. And that is this section just here, and I'll show you the breakdown of the districts and how they're actually zoned in just a second. And so we have Howarth Heights, and last one for this episode as well, Lucas Lorenzo Cayo requested that the big roundabout here be named after him. So we have, as per his request, the Lucas Loop. So there we go. That's caught up on the subscriber requests. We will be adding another 3 next time out, and after that as well, and so on and so forth. So those requests will keep coming in. The other reason why I wanted this little link just here as well, the Finch Tunnel going underneath here, again we could look at maybe dropping the road height or the terrain height down to get underneath those roads, was to hopefully try and alleviate some of the residential and commercial traffic that's sort of piling up in here. So hopefully you can see that it's easing a little bit of the traffic because it's giving them more routes to go down. And then same over here. Again, we've got this little junction going underneath here because we've got a little bit of high density residential along here, and it gives them the ability to move into this area, which may be residential. It may be, I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there. Maybe offices, maybe a bit more commerce, I don't know. And we've got a little bit of a split there. So we've got a link to connect all of these 3 zones here together. Try and take some of the main traffic off the main road here, and it has worked a little bit. As you can see, traffic going into the district has been reduced a little bit because they have another way in. They're not having to pile off this way to go around to go in here. They can cut through this way, and you can see that we are getting a fair bit of traffic, and also traffic this way as well now has a shortcut into both Faz Square there and also into Gyatta Square just there as well. So that's those little bits of changes done. What I've also done is I've added in a little bit of extra roading over here as well, just so we can start expanding on this side of that freeway interchange. I still haven't done anything further here, so you can see there the Garnet Tunnel is just the little link road connecting these two, in case any traffic needs to get down and turn around and come back out again. Specifically if we flood again, hopefully the vacuum trucks will come down. And I figured out why the vacuum trucks weren't working, because obviously this stuff has been relocated ever so slightly. It's just been squashed over here. The reason why this wasn't working was because even though I'd put a pipe in to service water, I hadn't physically connected the pipe to the plant itself. I'd just drawn a pipe over to give water, access. But you do need to actually connect here so that it can then discharge out through the pipe network, and I completely forgot to do that. So that's why our vacuum trucks weren't working last time out. Silly little mistake on my part, but there we go. A few deaths are popping up at the moment. I've got all of my cemeteries currently on empty. So we've got one there, one there, one there, and they're all emptying, and another one there. Most of them were pretty high. Another one was a little bit sort of about halfway, but I wanted to get them all emptying at the same time, so it's just easier for me to manage going forward when they're all kind of filling and emptying at a similar kind of time. So you can see we're getting a few deaths waiting to be serviced because there's a lot less traffic on the roads, to deal with that. We do still have hearses out there, sort of transferring back and forth to the various different crematoriums around the city, but obviously there's a little less traffic available to deal with those. So it's not a major death rush that's going on right now, it's just a little less traffic able to service those requests. Let's take a look at the brand new districts. So this is how everything is kind of spaced out. So I've got a new little district over here, Holly Heights, and what I've done is add in a little bit of road here, as you can see, to maybe start expanding and put a small industrial park over on this side. The demand is low at the moment, but it's more prepping for the future. Same again around here. This will become a small industrial park just over here. Maybe throwing a little bit of office space somewhere around here. Maybe offices in this block just here. This hasn't been zoned yet because that's going to be part of the expansion that comes down into this area. We also have Moore Square over here, so this has already been set up for a while, but we now have that area sort of zoned. Same with Howarth Heights, Pearl Park and Sunset Park, just kind of spacing those out. And then obviously we had Faz Square, we had Gatter Square, we've now got McSweeney sitting between the two of those. And then over here, nothing has changed. These are all exactly the same as they were, just maybe been tidied up in terms of their borders a little bit. So that's where our city is standing right now. And what I want to do is I want to start putting in something in this little space here. And at some point, I think, when we move into this next tile, this one here, we'll look at having an off-ramp somewhere around this border, and then that can speed down into this area here. But I also want to have a link across to this side of the city as well. So we're kind of just sorting our options out over here at the moment. And as you can see, we've got a link from this bridge here going up and then into the district there, and then a link from this bridge over to here into the district there, and also feeding out to this area over here, and also we'll have a main bridge there as well. So we've got a couple of different access points for traffic for when we continue the expansion. Before we do that though, let's start zoning in the brand new areas that we've done. So just checking to see if I need to put piping down. I do. I'm going to take out this bit of pipe just here, and let's get lined up. Let's bring this down here like this. And this is an overuse of pipe there. We don't need that much. So what we'll do is we'll simply have a little bit just sticking forward, just like that. Right, what else needs pipes? We need pipes over here in McSweeney Square. So let's draw off from here. Actually, no, let's draw off from here. So let's try and line up. There you can see our kind of prediction line. And I'm going to need a little bit just popping down here as well. In fact, as well, while we're still paused, let's try and do this as well. Let's take this tunnel out. And let's just lower the terrain down a little bit. Let's see if we can actually do this. Oh, I've got a lot of soil. I need to dump some of this. No lights again. Okay, let's set level. Go large. Go strong. We'll just dump some of this soil over here. There we go. That's most of it. And let's go back down over here. So I want to make it smaller. I want to reduce the strength. Find where I need to be, which is over here. I just want to lower this down a little bit. So I'm going to go to Shift Terrain, and square will raise, circle. Square lowers. I think X raises. So let's try. Or is that the other way round? Yeah, there you go. See, we are lowering the terrain ever so slightly through here. That's way too much. I know that much, but I'm going to go to soften terrain now, and I'm going to try and just smooth this out. Bring this back to a more reasonable level. Because we still want to be able to put in some buildings around here if we can. Oh, no, wait, it wasn't there, was it? It was supposed to go underneath this bit. That's what needs to be lowered. So let's set a new level. Just lower this out a bit around here. There you go. You can see the contours changing as we're moving this around. And I reckon we can get a road underneath there. Let's give that a try. Let's go with freeform road. Oh yeah, look at that. See, it'll go underneath now. Excellent stuff. Just going to take that piece out, draw that forward, and then try and connect like that. And then if there is a slight kink in the road, it'll be hidden underneath the bridge. There we go. So now we've got a little bit of extra space to zone there and here as well, which helps. And let's see if we can do the same over here too. Let's see if we can just lower this bit of terrain ever so slightly over here. So we should still have that level set with our landscaping. So let's just try and lower this down a bit. You can see where the tunnel currently runs. We're just lowering this terrain through here. Like that. I'm doing it a little bit wider than I need to just because I want to give myself a few options. There we go. And let's go in and take this tunnel out. And again, let's put in a road. And how's about that? We can actually get it in there. Fantastic stuff. So now we have a nice slight little dip in the terrain to allow the road to go underneath and get traffic to be able to clear that height difference or that slight height restriction. They can now get through there. And I think that looks better, having those roads actually going underneath those bridges. So there we go. There's a little way you can use very soft little changes in your landscaping just to lower terrain ever so slightly and get roads underneath bridges. I think that is going to work out really well for us, hopefully. And you can see the traffic is now being able to use that road just underneath there. And let's see if they can use it here as well. Yep. There's someone using the road. Fantastic. So, we have quite a high residential demand at the moment. We're going to zone in a little bit more residential. And you know what? I'm going to stick in a little bit of residential in here. Stick in a couple of blocks of residential. And what I'm also going to do is, because I don't think I've got much in the way of services for police and stuff over here. I've got a little bit, but It's small stuff. I've got a small station there, small fire. I've got a small police and fire and medical over here. I think I might put in a large police station and a large fire service over here. If I can find the right spots for them. Perhaps just here. Let's get a large police there. Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. There we go. A large fire. Will it let me put it on the corner? No, but it will let me drop it just there.
Days. Citizens are advised to stay.
Oh, you're kidding!
Indoors.
Another. I just turned the frequency of this down. The city hasn't run that much. Oh, Christ. It's just no end to this, is it? Disaster after disaster. Oh, well, hopefully the timing after this one will be a lot longer. We can go more than an episode without a fire.
Until the storm has passed.
You can see it just hit that building there, and now that's caught fire. Ah, dear, dear, dear. Why is there no water? Oh, that's not connected up. That's why. Would help if we connected the water supply up. That's quite a big storm again. We are having the worst luck with disasters right now. Oh, McSweeney Square just got struck. We've got a fire breaking out over here. Yes, there we go. Straight away, a big fire breaking out. Oh man, look at this storm rampaging through our city. We've got fires breaking out absolutely everywhere. Well, the cemeteries are finished unloading, so let's... well, this one has anyway. There it is. Let's stop emptying. I think we're going to need that in a moment. Still got 1,000 bodies in there. Another strike over here. Let's set fire to the statue. My God, the whole statue is just burning. I suppose that would be Burning Man, perhaps, or the Wicker Man. Take your festival or movie reference of your choice there. Oh, and the forest is burning down again. Ah, dear, dear. Right, let's carry on with checking for water, because I'm sure there might be somewhere else that needs a bit. Are we all good? Yeah, we're all good with water. Okay, so let's continue zoning in around this block here. So let's put some more high density in just there. Just here. Like so. I'm going to stick a little bit of office in here as well. On these blocks, like that. Put a few offices in these spots. It's not a huge demand at the moment for that, but we'll make the space available. The storm is still rampaging. Well, while that's rampaging through, let me whiz over here and show you what I started doing over here as well. Did a little bit more reworking of this area. What I've done is I've started to set up our dock area. So I've got two harbours here. Now the line sort of comes in here. You can see a ship there actually. The line comes in this way, I think, and then comes around to here, and then goes around there, and then goes back out that way again. So we'll have an import dock, which will be this one, which is where all incoming ships will come into this one. And then we'll change the traffic flow so that that will be the export dock. So anything that's coming in to deliver goods to the harbour will deliver to this one here, and then all our export will go out to this one. and then all the ships that come in to drop off cargo will come in on this one, because that'll be the first one they get to, and that'll be our import dock. What I've also done is I've put in a passenger harbour just over here as well, for regular sort of cruise liners and so on and so forth. And I started work on our canal system over here. So this is going to be our kind of like our LA storm drain canal system. This is going to run through here, and there's a lot of terraforming that needs to happen, and we need to rework the rail and everything as well. But this is going to run up through here, and we're going to have smaller canals that are going to come off and feed through, and we're going to be pumping sewage into those. And also they'll be available as runoff areas. So this pumping station will at some point be relocated onto that kind of hub that runs down through here, and we'll have our water treatment plants in various different locations around our city, all feeding into the storm drain channel, which will then run through here and out to sea that way. And that way, doesn't matter where along here we try and get our water from, we'll always have clean water, and then all the wastewater will be getting pumped out into this area over here by the docks. That's kind of the plan. It's going to be a little while until that gets done, though. Storm is over. We've had a fair few people pass away, I think, as a result of that. Lots and lots of fires. And that forest burnt to the ground again. That's the second time that's been burnt down in a big storm now. And yeah, just fires breaking out everywhere. I mean, luckily we've got, you know, good fire department coverage, and we've also got our helicopters as well. Don't forget we have just the one at the moment, just the one fire service helicopter team there to deal with forest fires. We're probably going to need to put a second one in, but we'll do that somewhere else. And of course we do have 2 disaster response units, because we've got one there and we've got that one there. So we've got 2 disaster response units kind of centrally located, or what will be centrally located around this area, and then this one will help to cover this area, and we'll probably have a third one somewhere over here as we continue to progress down. We might even have one over here somewhere as well. This forest fire, our helicopters should be able to come service, because it is inside our tiled area, so we should see some choppers come and deal with that at some point. Those ones out there we can't do anything about, because they are outside of our buildable zone, so they're outside of our controllable zone. But it looks as though the helicopters, yeah, they're dealing with Anaf Forest at the moment, which, as you can see, completely decimated. Let me go into our budget and have a look if we can tweak disaster response. I don't think there is a budget for disaster response. Here we go, the number of fire engines and disaster relief units which is available to, so we'll bump that up during the day, I think, to 125. Like that. So that'll give us extra fire engines, and hopefully that'll also give us an extra chopper or 2. Yeah, 1 extra chopper. They're not in use anymore, so I'm surprised they're not coming out here. Maybe that's just too... even though it's in our zone, maybe it's just too far away. And possibly. If it gets too much closer to our road network, maybe they'll start picking up on that. But yeah, once again, look, and that forest just completely burnt to a crisp. That's a shame to see. Let's continue our work over here. So we have a large increase in traffic coming into this district here now. Do we have traffic lights here? We do. Good. What I might need to do is put a larger road on there. Just watching the traffic here. Most of the traffic that's using this is, or you know, is traffic that just wants to turn. Are we getting any traffic using to go straight across? Oh, a little bit. Not much. There we go. We're getting some foot traffic going across here as well. That's something else we need to be wary of. We're going to need to rework our purple bus route again. But traffic in here does seem to be much more manageable now that there are multiple ways to get in and out of this district. You know, it's spreading where that traffic is coming from and where it's going to. And also, I think having that high-density commercial running down here has helped alleviate a little bit of the traffic as well, because there's another commercial hub over here. In fact, we could probably do with putting in a bit more high-density commercial over here somewhere. This is still a large area that's not really being serviced. So let's look at maybe getting a bit more. Maybe somewhere up here we could have a little bit of high density. Maybe up here. Sunnyside Heights. Let's put in a little bit around here. And then leave the edges as low density, like that. So we'll have low density in that section around there and around those bits there. That'll help alleviate some of the commercial. It might also help deal with some of the traffic as well, but I'm just a little concerned that maybe we might see an increase in industrial traffic moving from Workman Industrial Park through our areas around up into here. I mean, this is why we do have this cargo train system here, so hopefully we'll get some cargo going in that way. And we'll actually get the trains to shuttle some of that around a little bit. We still have a very high demand for residential. We really do kind of need to start building a new residential area. I was asked why I'm not using a lot of high density in this new section over here. I kind of want to keep it low density, and as we get further and further across, we're going to start getting into more and more areas with high density. But these are still essentially kind of suburb type areas. They're not like major built up areas. We'll probably change certain parts, so along this freeway section as we get along here, this is going to start getting into high density, but as I say, it's still a long way to go yet until this area is complete, so we'll stick with low density until we get to a more of a solid picture of exactly where things are going to be. That's close enough, I think. Let's stop emptying there. Let's check our other cemeteries. That's still got a lot of people in it. That one's about ready. That one's fine. Don't think there are any more, are there? Nope. That's everything. And luckily that storm didn't last too long and didn't do too much damage, so let's check our district policies a second. Pearl Park. We need to make this district a schools out district, I think. There we go, because if we're going to be adding industry in just here and industry in here, then we're going to have jobs that need to be worked on. We can get rid of the biking policy on this district. These are blanket policies that are applied to every single district that's created. So the Parks and Rec, we can turn that off. We'll keep recycling on, we'll keep that on, keep those on. City planning, here we go. Encourage biking, turn that off in this district. And same here in Holly Heights. Just turn that on and off. Ooh, lightning rods. Oh, that policy's still on. I must have put it on the same district again. There we go. No bikes on Holly Heights. Nothing in Sheffield Park. What we'll do, Faz Square, we'll add lightning rods to Faz Square, and we'll do the same in McSweeney and Gatta as well, because there's some tall buildings in those. There we go. So we've got lightning rod policies in those three districts now, because there are some tall buildings in there. You can see we've got high density commercial in here, high density residential in these buildings, and yeah, some tall office buildings in here as well. Plus we've got our TV station as well, which is pretty tall. And let's do the same. Do we need to do the same in Lando District and Baxter Square? I think yeah, let's do the same in these ones as well. Anywhere where we have high density, we'll start putting in these lightning rods, because these storms are just brutal. It's not on in there, is it? Lando District. There we go. Excellent stuff. It's just a shame I can't put a lightning rod here, although maybe the Firewatch Tower would count. It's more of a placeable rather than a building. I don't think that would work. Alright, we'll leave that as is, because I think the only building as such would be the horse ranch just there. Alright, let's continue our zoning over here. You can see we're actually getting a bit of an industrial demand again now. So let's start to put in a little bit of industry around here. This is a little one-way loop just here. Just that little loop is one way, and obviously two-way there. We've got two-way around here. Do I have water over here? Yes, I do. You can see the new industry going in. I'm wary that it might cause some pollution issues over here, but I think these are offices rather than houses. Yes, they are. So that should be fine as well. We shouldn't have any complaints from residents complaining about pollution. Stick a bit more industry just there as well. And again, hopefully having a little bit of industry here and a little bit of industry along here should help alleviate some of this industrial traffic having to come across this way, into this way, and then all the way around through here. That's kind of the plan. I mean, traffic seems to be running reasonably well. This is still very busy. And I have had to kind of go back and have these little off-ramps here. I think I showed those before. Just because we're getting a lot of traffic coming off, and then that kind of loops underneath and joins here. So that's why this is busy. We're getting some queues. We're getting a few queues over here. And again, this is what I was worried about, was the commercial traffic. You can see we've got these commercial vehicles, the trucks and the fast food vans and the product vans kind of getting in there, as well as some of the you know, just the civilian traffic, and it's all kind of feeding down this way, as you can see, feeding over to our new high density commercial over here. So we'll see how things go here. We may have to tweak that again if our road network starts to get too busy again, because we were managing it quite well, and now it's starting to get a little bit too busy again. How are we doing over here? Pretty good. Everyone seems to be happy so far. Where is our fire and police in terms of actual coverage? I know we've got some just there, haven't we? We could move those actually over here. That might be a good idea, because we have these brand new buildings right here, so there's no need for these ones to be just here. Let's move this and stick it over here next to the power plant. We'll move this, and that's broken the power network slightly, but that's fine. And we'll move this. No, we'll leave that medical center there for now. Okay, so this doesn't actually need to be here. There we go. Do we have any other power connections that we need to look at? That one's there, that's fine. All this is connected over here, that's fine. See these buildings getting little boosts and leveling up now that they have nearer police and fire. I suppose we could put a medical center over here. Let me check my health coverage. So I know I've got this one just there, and then I've got a little one over there as well. It's not much, is it? Let's maybe look at a hospital in that gap. There we go, like that. And then I can move this over here, so this can help again deal with our industry area over here. And this set of buildings over here. Well, let me check my coverage again. Yeah, let's move. Where is it? There it is. Let's move this health center. Let's kind of bring this over here a bit, where there isn't that much coverage. Let's drop that there. And this. Again, we've got that kind of blind spot coverage, I suppose. It's not too bad. I think we'll leave it like that. We could maybe upgrade our police and fire over here, make them a bit bigger. But we'll leave those two just there, I think. That seems to work quite well. Let's take that piece of road out, though. There we go. Getting a few people, or a bit of a shortfall in Holly Heights at the moment. I'm hopeful this will sort itself out. What sort of jobs are they short of? Uneducated people. 16 uneducated jobs at the moment. There's just not enough people in this area at the moment. That's part of the problem. So maybe we're going to need to put some more residential here. Let's maybe put a little bit of high residential. Do I want to put it along the freeway? Let's try a little bit along here. We'll keep an eye on that. See how it looks. See if we get complaints about noise. We are using sound barriers and there is a height difference, so hopefully we'll be alright. Here go the first of the houses. Or, you know, tenement blocks. Are they going to have power over here? Yes, they are. Good. We can get maybe a few extra people in this area. Hopefully that'll help. I was hoping to put some industry in this area, so those are just a temporary fix. We may well relocate those. You know, the plan is eventually for all of this along here to be kind of industry. We'll see how that works. So Sheffield Heights. Let's go back to our policies. District policies. I want services. And I want a schools out policy in Sheffield Heights. And hopefully that'll supply some additional workers over here to Holly Heights. I've got a bit of reworking on this road because I made this was a single you know, single road like this, just single lane road. I made that dual carriageway along here, so these buildings have been pushed back a block, so they need to be re-highlighted, as you can see. I'm just going to delete them off through here so that they can rebuild proper spacing. And there we go. We're starting to get bigger buildings popping up. I'm going to extend that out to there as well, I think. I think we could link these two districts here as well with a little road. This could be interesting with the terrain. Yeah, let's try that. So let me pause for a second. Let me go into my landscaping tool. Let's soften this terrain because it is quite severe here, as you can see. Let's make that stronger. See, we can draw these slopes down a bit. We can just soften this out like this, then we can start to draw this down a bit more. You see a little bit of movement in the contours. Just because I don't want it to be so steep that it just is quite, you know, brutal in terms of the road elevation. Okay, there we go. Let's go freeform. We'll try and have a little windy country, you know, kind of twisty road if we can. That kind of snakes up through the hill. I like that. That looks kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. Let's rezone that. So we want to fill these blocks in. Excellent stuff. Let's get hopefully get some houses popping up in this section just here. And we're seeing traffic using it as well, which is great to see. When you see the traffic using the roads, you know it has a purpose. And I'm seeing a lot of pedestrians using the road as well. There's a nice little cut through. It's a way to go to the station and the bus route as well. Look, a lot of people walking just to the bus station like that, or the train station. Sorry. And every time you get these houses come in as well, you see how it just shifts the terrain a little bit. So you can see there, it just immediately just puts a little bit of a cliff as that house goes in. And it'll be the same when we get stuff going in on this corner. You see the way the terrain changes a bit. Excellent stuff. Yeah, I like that little cut through. I think that looks gives us a little bit more character in that area, and also links our two areas together quite nicely as well, just through that little section. What else can we do? How are we getting on over in Holly Heights? Ah, look at that. Apart from this one failed building, that's all seems to be working quite well. 4 jobs available in that one. This one was struggling earlier. That's fully stocked. No jobs, no jobs, no jobs available. 1 job available. So there's a few employment opportunities over here, but not many. Most of those jobs have been taken. Let's see how quickly these jobs disappear. Not very quickly at all, it would seem. Oh, there we go. We have a one highly educated person working in. Now, there's only uneducated jobs at the moment, but as this building levels up, then we should start to see an improvement in job requirements. In fact, I wonder... I'm going to try and be clever here. I'm going to relocate this for a second. If I plonk that just there... have a little link, a direct link from our little industry park here straight to the rail hub. That seems to work pretty well. Some police heading over that way, I think, and some more police taking off on patrol. Let's have another quick look at this building here. 14 jobs available now, so we've and now only 12. You can see the building is already shooting up. Look how quickly it's leveling up. So we had, what, 16, was it 14 jobs, I think it was, that were uneducated, or something like that. Now you can see we've got a lot of educated jobs, just a couple of uneducated jobs, some well-educated, still no highly educated, but it's already in that final block for upgrades. So that should... fill up pretty quickly indeed. Just 11 jobs available now. Now only 10 jobs available. We are filling those vacancies pretty quickly. So that seems to be working pretty well. Just take another look at our traffic over here. It's still really busy over here. We do need to kind of look at maybe putting in some... I think over here, putting in a little bit of industry in this area. We've got offices over here. I think I'm going to rework this. I'm just wary because we have this residential along here, so that will probably get reworked into offices to move the residents away from the pollution. Quite sure why those aren't filled in like that. We have a lumber industry going up here by the look of it. Didn't realise I put a lumber policy on this one. I don't recognise some of these buildings. I don't think I've seen these ones before. But it turns it effectively into a little warehouse district because there's no forest available. So you get almost like a clean zone. Even though it's still industry, it's clean industry. Even it's not polluting the sky, because you've not got these huge, great big chimney stacks everywhere. So that might help. Having some industry over here. It's certainly going to make a lot more traffic here for the trains. We're going to have cargo coming in and going out. There you can see some passenger cargo, some commercial cargo coming in. These buildings are just rocketing up at the moment. We've got a few chimney stacks, but not too many. It looks like the whole area is rezoning itself again. Let me check my districts. No, it didn't have the forestry specialisation. It's just normal. That's odd. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on the pollution over there. So again, hopefully that will help alleviate some of the impact of all the traffic around here. There'll be less need for traffic to sort of go all the way through here if there's already some commerce and some some industry over here for commercial interests. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. I think that is probably going to be it for the end of this particular episode. We haven't done a lot. We've just kind of done a few little tweaks, but we have been able to kind of mess around a little bit with some terrain and try out some cool little tricks, getting roads underneath bridges that didn't want to go. We've put a lot of new zones and stuff in. We've got a little bit more, space building up over here, and we've developed a new little industrial area here at Holly Heights, and we've also rezoned or reworked Sunset Heights a little bit as well. So I will probably start drawing in a few extra roads between episodes, and then we'll start zoning in some new stuff when we come back. And also we will continue to add in subscriber names. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with another episode of City Skylines Mass Transit and JBPG City very soon.